And it is lights out for us at the Nürburgring, as we've had a decent start, and the top 3 for qualifying were all Ferrari 296s, me being the final one of them. Heading into the first corner, I had a decent amount of pace, but maybe a little bit too much, as me in second had a little bit of contact a couple times. But already heading down onto the straight now, there's still quite a big gap between me and P4, as us 3 are starting to pull away at the top. Through here, second has a little bit of a wide entry going to this line, so he has a better exit on P1 heading up into the hairpin. And yeah, you can see he goes for a look down the inside, but I make sure to keep it wide, and yeah, managed to get the double switch back on them both, which is quite a nice move, and I feel personally one of my best around this track. And then headed up through here, P2 gets a little bit on the grass on the second part of the chicane and gets re-overtaken by P3. And you'll notice that there are a lot of speed ups during this video because of how long this track is. And then heading through on coming up to the final part of the track here, coming up to the straight, I get a little bit wide on the banking, which does not set me up well for this exit. And you can see P2 drafting me fair and square through that last corner. I have to lift off a little bit because of my bad entry to it, and I move over a couple times to try and defend it, but eventually manages to get alongside me, and then it creates this awesome camera angle as we go side by side. As soon as he's fully past me, I make sure to tuck in behind for the draft to try and get him as much as possible till the end of the straight, as I tried to make it side by side through here, but eventually back out because, well, you know, we're on the Nürburgring, so it's not worth the risk. I've got so much more of the track left. And through this last corner I had quite a decent exit for the main straight, and then heading into the first sector on the second lap I had a little look but didn't quite go for it, and then had a more optimal line going through there as he was going defensive. But as he went defensive, he obviously had a wider exit, getting him a bit more pace heading up into this section. So yeah, it's just heads down trying to get something. Heading into this hairpin now, I tried to have a little look around the outside, but just didn't brake late enough, so I couldn't quite get past him. And then heading up this uphill part, I just tuck in for the draft and try my best to get through. And you can see that I'm really changing my lines as much as possible to try and get better exits than him going onto straights. But yeah, it didn't quite work out for us going onto that straight, as he managed to get still quite a strong exit and keep us at bay heading down into that straight. As we take a wide line here as well, we do get a better exit, only slightly though, and doesn't set us up amazingly for the next corner. And then heading onto the straight for lap 2, every time I tried to get him a draft, he moves over to try cut the slipstream, which, yeah, you can do, but you know, I do think that 9 times on one straight is a bit excessive. But you know, I guess if it works, you know, might as well go for it. And heading through this last corner, I do some quite good late braking to try get optimal pace onto the straight. And then on lap 3, you can see this is where I really made the gain on him on the whole part of the track. This is my biggest time gain for, I think, the race pretty much. Only gained about half a second, but yeah, half a second in the space of 20 seconds isn't too bad. And yeah, you could see really putting pedal to the metal, trying to get as fast as possible through this part of the track. And then yeah, again on the third lap, trying to cut the slipstream, and this time he moves over 8 times, but yeah, it works. So yeah, you know, I guess I'll just try and get him on the corners. And then lap 3 we come into the pits for our pit stop, and we fill it up with a little bit of fuel because it's better safe than sorry. But for some reason, only that tiny little bit of fuel lost us 3 seconds coming out of the pits, and there was only a second difference between us going in. So yeah, wasn't too ecstatic about that. And then yeah, on the final lap at the start of the Nordeschliefe part, I made a small mistake, putting me in the wall. No damage, luckily. I think it was just exhaustion from doing this 3 times. I mean, I had 2 previous times as well. But an amazing win from then. 10 seconds of the lead with fastest lap as well. Fair enough to them. And yeah, we come through with a very pleased second, and P3 completes an all Ferrari podium at the Nürburgring. Overall, happy with this result. I did not think I'd get top 3 at this one. I thought this would be one of the ones I would not get a podium on, much like Dragon Trail. But yeah, overall, very happy with this result. Hats off to the guy in first, and hats off to the guy in third as well. They had an amazing battle at the start that I managed to swoop in for. And yeah, I'll see you all at Spa.